Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, let's go. Kevin here, top 1 financial advisor and best-selling author. We are here to talk about the stock market. Nvidia, Meta, AMD. These are some of the most popular tech stocks so far in 2023, and for good reason. Nvidia has been on fire. Meta is up more than 130% this year alone. You should be talking about them because of how well they are doing. Perhaps you own them. Here's the thing though. Those are not the only stocks in the world, and there are a lot of tech stocks that are doing quite well, and there are 5 that I have that I think are not on the mainstream radar. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the list, tell you what I think about them very briefly, and then give you a definition of what I think or what I mean when I say off the radar. People aren't talking about it, and this could be your opportunity to add it to your watch list and consider investing in the very near future. I'm also give you this, okay? Tell you just right now, since you here, okay, and we're not on our regularly scheduled days, but I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. Y'all gonna get 5 videos this week. So here's the thing: insider members only. I'm gonna take these 5 and I'm gonna do additional research on top of it. That video, or probably a post, will be out in the next few hours. I'm gonna tell you in that post how I rank these 5, which ones I would consider buying, and what price I would consider buying them at. I'm just telling you now, okay? So I'm gonna just list them here, but insider members only, you're going to get a lot more detail. Throwing it out there, okay? So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I don't have these in any particular order, but let's just talk about what's mainstream, what's not. Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Meta. You've heard of all of those. I don't want to talk about none of those, even though those are great companies that I own some of those. I want to look at what is off the beaten path. What aren't people talking about that is doing incredibly well, okay? So first is Cadence Design Systems, that is CDNS. CDNS is the ticker symbol. They're up 44% in the last 6 months and up 67% over last year at the time that we are doing this video. They are there. I ain't heard nobody say nothing about it, okay? That don't mean you wasn't talking about it. If you were, you didn't tell me. Okay, that's number 1, but they're not getting the shine that they should. I mean, almost any tech company is up a minimum of 15% so far this year, which is great, but 44%, that's a quiet, amazing return that, again, not enough people are talking about. It's not getting the shine that it should, so it should be one that you may want to consider adding to your watch list. One that we have talked about a year ago when we were talking about cybersecurity and how important that was, guess what? Palo Alto Systems, that is PANW, is back on the scene. They're up 62% in the last 6 months and 53% over the last year. Just like I said back in 2022, you want to like and subscribe. This is why I tell you these things, because had you listened back then, you could be quite wealthy today. Just throwing it out there. But in either case, Palo Alto Networks and what they do in terms of cybersecurity, all that stuff, it's only going to get more complex in the future, and they're only going to have a much broader market provided that they don't get any new competition, which is possible. But they're doing quite well. They are still growing. I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. Obviously, anything can happen, but it's one that I don't think is getting nearly enough attention. Oddly enough, and this is not in the exact same category as Palantir, I don't know why people love that company. Yes, the stock is up, okay? But that just has a cult following. Meanwhile, Palo Alto Networks just quietly pumping out money and nobody's really talking about it in the same way. So it's just interesting how people kind of gravitate to certain companies and certain stocks, even though there could be comparable or even better performers in and around the exact same space. So just an observation here. Next is Oracle. Oracle's up 58% in the last 6 months and up 86% in the last year. Why are we not talking about Oracle the same way that we're talking about AMD, the same way we're talking about Nvidia? Oracle is a major company that's been around for decades, and while you can't say it's the exact same as a Microsoft or Google per se, but they're in the arena, okay? Even though the Warriors don't play there anymore, they are in the arena, and it's just kind of under the radar, I see them very similar to Cisco Systems in that, they're very large legacy players in the tech space, kind of the quote-unquote OG, the veteran in that space, but no one's like really buying into them or believing in them or, putting them on their back and stumping about the importance or the value of a stock like this. People do it for Apple. People do it for Microsoft. I'm one of these people as well. People do it for Alphabet, aka Google. Nobody's really doing it for Oracle. It's interesting. They're not on the radar, but I mean, 86% in the last year is incredible. You might want to add it to your list. Okay. All right. We've got two more. This one makes me proud. It's On Semiconductor. The stock symbol is ON. We talked about this one. We talked about this one way back during the CHIPS Act bill, where we did several videos around semiconductors, what stocks made the most sense, whether or not you should buy them. On Semiconductor was one of those, and it's still going quite strong. 37% in the last 6 months, and up, as I'm scrolling through here, up 69% over the last year. Very hard to beat, but again, we talked about this one. This is why I gotta remind people you should be liking, you should be subscribing, because it's stuff like this that's the value. That's why you want to be inside the members only, because we talk in very deep detail about On Semiconductor specifically. This is why. Okay, On Semiconductor on the list here at number 4, and then the last one. Haven't heard a whole lot about this one, but it has been on my radar. I don't think that I brought it out to everybody, even though I'm members only did hear me talk about this one for a little bit. Is Broadcom, ABGO. They are up 57% in the last 6 months and up 76% over the last year. Again, performance like that should put you in, in everybody's minds, but it's not. I think even though, again, Nvidia is good, it's fine, I own it, that's great, they're taking up a whole lot of oxygen in the room, and deservedly so, as well as Meta. But whether it's Broadcom or Oracle or On Semiconductor, these are companies that are still quite valuable, that still have more runway and may be a bit more, that's what I'm looking for, less trendy, but more stable in the long term. Because my concern with this whole AI thing, I've said this before, anytime that where it's just a buzzword and people just throwing it out there and people are teaching courses, or just because you use ChatGPT 3 times does not make you an expert enough for you to be teaching a workshop on it, but whatever. When you start to see stuff like that, it usually tends to be a bubble where it's just you throw out enough buzzwords about AI, stocks take off for no reason, or people are overly excited about those, and then at some point they crash shortly thereafter. Some of these companies that we brought up today, while some are still in the semiconductor space, On Semi is one of those. There are others that, because they're off the beaten path, may still be quite valuable when and if, keyword when and if, this AI bubble pops. So that could be something that can be a little bit of an insulator. So what you do want to do from here, though, is take these 5, join members only if you want to learn any more, but take these 5 and start to do a bit more research to see which one fits in your portfolio. And the most important thing, if you're looking at taking some of these stocks and adding it to your portfolio, is taking a look and saying, what do I own now, and how does this give me something that's different than what I already have? Perhaps what you don't want to do, and this is a risk, is let's say you have an all tech portfolio and that's all you got. So you got Nvidia, you got AMD, you got Meta, you got Microsoft, and you have Google. All of those are primarily AI companies today. That's not all they do, but that is the reason why they're up so much. If that bubble pops, you are going to be in a world of trouble. Okay, you want to be able to say, or have something in your portfolio that says, hey, look, should this not go well, I've got A, B, and C to kind of even out my performance so that I'm not in the red at the end of the year or around this time next year. So take a look at these 5, see if there is any balance for you to be had if you don't have some of these, and kind of even out your portfolio a bit to get some of these gains if they continue to do so, while also protecting yourself at the end of the day. If you look at my portfolio in public now, I will be making changes in the next, 2 weeks now? We're almost at the end of June. And I'm already kind of making some decisions. But you'll notice, like, yes, I have my Microsoft, my Google, my Amazon, all that kind of stuff. But you also notice that I have Ulta Beauty. I have a little bit of healthcare, right? And I'm trying to balance things out. So I've got my dividends, got my tech stocks, and I'm right in the middle of where I should be and where I want to be. You should do something similar. You don't have to own what I own. I would recommend that you don't do that, because my risk tolerance and how I look at the market is different than how you may do it. But what you do want to do is take some of these 5, see what fits, see what you can add to your game, add to your portfolio. But most importantly, do your research from here. If you want a shortcut and just kind of pick my brain, that's inside the members only, and I'll be dropping that post here pretty soon on breaking down each of these companies, what I think about them, and most importantly, what is my buy range for, like what price am I looking for, and how, of the 5, which ones do I like the most. Okay, so I'm gonna put all that in the members only next few hours, so you got some time to join if you're trying to get up on that real quick. All right, remember tomorrow, Monday, the time you're watching this, I think I'm doing this on Sunday, Monday, Juneteenth, market will be closed, so you got an extra day to do your research and decide what you want to get on Tuesday, if that is your day to go in and invest. Whew. All right, that is it for me. I will talk to y'all at some point this week, because again, my schedule's off. I'm taking care of the kids this week. It's Father's Day, it's Juneteenth, it's a lot going on, a lot of stuff. Okay, so whenever y'all see this, y'all will hear from me again. I don't know if it's gonna be tomorrow, day after, or whenever, but y'all gonna hear from me again. All right, that is it for me. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.